Hey everybody, this video is of the first ever Grapevine Trifecta mountain bike race / endurance ride hosted by DORBA in Grapevine, Texas, or by Lake Grapevine, Texas. This ride comprises 3 different trails in one day. So we start at Horeshoe, which is the ride out we're doing here in the video, do a complete lap of Horeshoe, and from there we head over to Knob Hills, do a complete lap of Knob Hills that includes Loop 6, so the whole thing, and then we head over to Northshore and do east side and west side. And if you know anything about west side at Northshore, some say west side is the best side, but it certainly is the rockiest and most technically challenging portion of Northshore. So this ride was in December, mid-December 2025, so that's why it looks a little bit cloudy, drizzly. Surprised there's still greenery out there given how cold it was, but it was definitely a chilly day.
You guys know where the gnome village is?
And the trail was tacky, as you can see with our tires, right, picking up a little bit of dirt. Not enough to damage the trail, but enough to where obviously it's going to make you pedal a little bit harder, add a little bit extra weight. And there were some obvious water crossings and mud and all the fun stuff you got to deal with out there. But no, I mean, overall it was a great ride. I rode with my a couple of my riding buddies, the Linked cycling crew. Really good guys, good camaraderie, right? Good banter the whole day. And yeah, I think overall it was definitely a fun ride. I hope they do it again this year. If you get a chance to get out there and do the Grapevine Trifecta in the winter, I absolutely encourage it. And for those of you that are familiar with DORBA and the events that DORBA hosts, they do an annual Judgment Day ride during the summer, which actually we just completed, because I'm doing this video here in August, but we just completed that in July, and hopefully I'll have a video of that next year. But Judgment Day is kind of like the summer capstone ride, if you will, for DORBA. It's definitely a very challenging endurance ride, 24 hours to do either 70 or 100 miles across 10 different trails. And this, I think, would be the closest thing we have to a winter Judgment Day, right? Where we're doing at least 3 trails, but not only 3 trails, all of the sections on the trails around Lake Grapevine. So definitely a more of a challenging ride. With the climbing and the technical pieces of West Side, Northshore, and Loop 6 on Knob. And just generally Knob is climby, if you think about the goat climb, if you've ever been out there, the goat killer. But yeah, definitely a challenging ride, but a fun ride. So if you get a chance, check it out. Highly recommend it. In total, I think there was 46 miles of riding that I did on this ride. I think you had 2 options. You could do a 30-mile trifecta, which maybe had a skinnier version of Northshore, and then you can do like the full thing, which was the 46 mile. Could be mistaken, but I think that's, you had 2 options, but we chose to do obviously the longer one, the full one. So I think we started here, maybe it was 8 a.m. and we finished 3 p.m., 2 or 3 p.m. So not the fastest, but we weren't trying to be. We were just trying to get through it, kind of keep the training up, you know, as we go into winter, which is always hard to do when you can't get on the trails as much, and just have fun, right? It was a good turnout. You saw at the beginning of the video the crowd we had. I had to say there had to be at least 75 to 100 people participating in this event. I don't know the exact numbers, but there was people on the trail all day that we were seeing kind of moving in and out of the trails. If you know anything about parking at Knob Hills, it's kind of a nightmare. And this day was no different. There was absolutely no parking in the parking lot. Parked kind of up and down the street, kind of like you do on a busy day at Knob. So definitely a good turnout. You can see the weather here. I mentioned it earlier, overcast, drizzly, right? Which makes for a cold ride. Cold in Dallas's terms anyway. For those of you that live in cold climates, this is nothing. But for us, I mean, 60, 50 degrees when we're used to 105, 110 summers is a little bit of a shocker. But yeah, it was drizzly most of the day, but later in the day you'll see once we get to Northshore, the sun came out, so it got a little bit warmer, which was a nice change. But yeah, I mean, I think also too, you know, I mentioned I'm riding with the Linked crew here. We had a variety of mechanicals. I think we had 1 or 2 flat tires we had to change, I think on West Side, believe it or not. As rocky as that place is, that did claim a couple tires, luckily not mine. But obviously stopped with the crew to help kind of change those out. And then we had one injury. One of our buddies unfortunately went OTB on the west side of Northshore and face planted into a rock. Didn't look too good after the impact, but luckily he's been able to take care of that now.
Yeah.
I didn't capture video of that for this video just because it's pretty gory, and I don't want to put his business out there. So, but suffice to say, if you've been on West Side or you're thinking about West Side, just be aware. It is a little bit more rugged, and injuries do happen. But barring those things, right? We had a rather uneventful trip after the mechanicals and the injury. So yeah, highly encourage this ride if you get a chance to get out here and do it. Support DORBA. Obviously, join DORBA first, and then look for the next Grapevine Trifecta. It'd be awesome to see you guys out there. I'll definitely be out there again. And then yeah, if you ride these trails regularly, you probably already know Northshore is awesome, Horeshoe's awesome, Knob is awesome, right? So definitely great trails to be part of an event like this with obviously the DORBA and the Dallas off-road bike community. So hope to see you out there. Enjoy the video, and thank you for watching.
Jeff, you checking out the trees back? Come on, Mike, close down, it's great. I'm just kidding. Just kidding.
He will too.
Oh, galley line. Low pressure.
I'm just gonna slow you down on climbs because sometimes I gotta hop off.
Kind of lay back. back on the climb next time. Don't think so.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
I'm not geared for these climbs anyway. I need to be running a bigger cog, so
I got you.
I'll stall out and I'll ruin your climb. So. Plus, it's Irwin gear anyway, so not a knob gear. Knob is fun. You're good. Yeah, I love it. What do you got? Cannondale what? Okay. Cannondale's solid.
Yeah, it's a mid-range bike.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm the last one. Go ahead.
Appreciate it. Yeah. Clear.
Oh, we might be last place finishers today.
That's all right. This ain't a race.
We just we got more fun than everybody else. Perseverance.
Mechanicals, injuries. We didn't leave anybody behind. That's all good. Everybody got out safely. That's important, right?
Well, mostly safe.
Mostly safe. There's the photographer.